October 6th, 25. You know what I hate? This is 2025. It's not 1950, 1940. It's 2025. There was LSD in the 1960s. Hallucination drugs. Hippies taking it, sleepwalking. And as time went on, there became more and more drugs. Roofies, hypnotic drugs, amnesia drugs, prescription drugs causing sleepwalking. And people want to say, like they didn't know, dear God, fentanyl can even cause it. Different narcotics with no memory. And then different anesthesias cause it. Okay. So when people act like they don't know what a roofie is, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. Where they try to pull a fast one, that they were using sodium pentothal on me so they could get the truth out of me, where they were drugging me and telling me to say stop. You know, last week in Walmart, people were talking about Michelle's big confession on September 30th, 25 at 1 o'clock in the morning. Where that biker brought her down, that the guy's running and said no one's to ever say a word to her again. Okay? That, they found out this whole thing is her family's debt to some drug dealers. I told you they made fool's bets. Well, they said in the beginning of the case, this whole thing is a bet between two gentlemen. Remember I told you about that? One bet, he could be so cruel that he could push me to suicide. The other one bet, he could make me give up everything in life and have other people participate. I'd say that's Michelle's dad's bet. Okay? He rebet. Winner takes all. You have to bet everything you have in life. And if you don't pay them back, they take it. And they want everything in interest, if not double. She confessed to human trafficking people to pay off her family's debt to those drug dealers. See, that's where the heads of cartel, they lied to them. And they found out they were lied to. And they had a biker bring her down under surveillance and confront her, and she sang like a canary. That I don't know her. I don't know who she is. She had me raped, tortured, my skull bashed in. And I don't even know her to help pay for her family's debt to some drug dealers. And that her and her family, human traffic people, to pay for their debt to those drug dealers. Even that agent's life got threatened by Ohio drug dealers because they thought it was him doing it. And here it was her family, human trafficking people, to pay for their debt to those drug dealers. Oh, and that she did know that it was medical malpractice and fraud that made me sick before. And they did encourage me and Dave to sue those doctors for years. They knew it was fraud. And they knew the original drug dealers had already confessed. They photoshopped everything. And then again, with technology, like Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin said, Sheriff Police Lau, he said, we all know about those roofie drugs, those date rape drugs, you're sleepwalking, under somebody else's control. And he said everything's digital. Nothing's been trustworthy for years. You can take words out of sentences, other sentences. Tape back over. Make it look like you said something you didn't. We all know that. Where my friend Walter Moss from the Stark County prosecutor's office, big fraud scheme. We all know you're sleepwalking with those date rape drugs. And everything's Photoshopable, sorry, it's early. From words to sentences, scenes, head on somebody else's body, clothing, eye color, hair color. Anything can be photoshopped. It's a big fraud scheme. See, they told everybody they had sodium pentothal. They had the right to drug me, so I couldn't lie to them where they were drugging me up and tell me to say stuff. People were talking in Walmart last week. It's something. She only remembers, like, when she went to the bathroom and washed her hands and came out and sat down and took a drink. She don't even remember them walking up and stabbing her with that drug. Or taking a shower and drying off and get in bed and go to sleep. She don't even remember them stabbing her. And they were just walking up and injecting her. It takes the fact that fast. Oh, if it's called needling someone, less than 45 seconds. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours, hypnotic drugs. Or August 4th, 25. The reason she has no memory of those people. And she had a metal taste in her mouth. Was they used hypnotic drugs that made her sleepwalk. That's why she has no memory of these people. August 5th, 25. As if Agent John did not know they used hypnotic drugs when they drugged her and told her to say it before. He was telling people before the case started. He knew she was being drugged, beaten, raped, and he didn't care. And he let them torture her. Is he some kind of coward? August 7th, 25. Investigators, Walmart 62. We have a tape of them admitting again they drugged her and told her to say it before. And that they even used hypnotic drugs on her. And that she had to have no memory. And they called Agent John a coward. What was it, August 30th, 31st? 25. Summit Mall, Macy's. It's documented, verified. They used hypnotic drugs on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before. And that I have no memory of these people. They already admitted they photoshopped that shower scene in the other room. So when people act dumb around me, the cartel already told people to stop saying something to me. Because this whole thing is just Michelle's family's debt to some drug dealers. And they found out, and they lied to them. They lied to them. And then it's like, are you crazy? Lying to a head of drug cartels. You're lucky they only handed you over to the police on a platter by taking Michelle down under surveillance, start an argument, and let her sing like a canary. And she's evil. She's got this thing. She acts like a little girl and, well, I'm sorry, and blah, 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 blah. And she's pure evil, and she will sell people. Don't fall for it. Dave had that same kind of scam. Act like a little boy, and like, I'm sorry, and blah, blah, I love you, and he plans your death. It's an act. It's a con. It's nothing but pure evil. Her admitting that she incited Carl's, my new husband, his children, trying to take him out to Youngstown, get him listed incompetent. Attorney, I'll sign it, have everything signed over to him. He can throw him in a nursing home and take off with everything. They were threatening stuff like that to me, and I thought they were only being mean at first of the case. It's on Google. If an attorney tries to have you listed incompetent in an extreme case, they lose their license forever, and it's 5 to 10 years federal prison. It's not their place. If their children try to get them listed incompetent, to steal, it's extortion. It's 20. And how she wanted my husband's land. I figured they were the big offer. Because where they all act like it was worth millions, it's only worth a couple $100,000 where it's located. I was talking to one of the neighbors down there on the phone, and he said, acreage here is only worth about $3,500. I said, they're telling everybody it's worth $28,000 an acre. I said, around Atwood Lake and the fields around it, but not 6 miles away in the middle of nowhere. He's like, no, it's not worth that much here. I know. The big $1 million lie to incite people to harm somebody or kill him, threaten their dad to bash his head in, kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown. She was behind it. She wanted that farm. But I really liked that farm. Aw. I'm not getting it. And neither his son. I already told that neighbor. He is never getting a dime out of that farm for threatening my husband's life and mine. I will make sure of him. I'll tell you that much. And I said, he better thank God I'm not his mother. I said, because if I was his mother, I'd be going after him. Threatening an 80-year-old man. Make him have chest pains and out feeding a horse at 2 o'clock in the morning because he's afraid someone's going to bash his skull in and kidnap him. And then them threatening to do it to me. I said, he gets nothing. I said, I had already signed off on the farm. He said, they didn't know that. I said, they didn't need to know. I said, they just needed to be good to their father. And because they couldn't be good to him, they get nothing. I said, this is the point of you will never see a dime of it. And they need to realize it. Well, he's not working real good right now. I said, that's not my problem. And he'll never get a dime of it for threatening my husband's life. And I'll make sure of it. I said, I'll tell you what. Not a dime. And it's only worth about, I said, we had several people look at it. It's only worth in the 200s, thousands. That's it. He said, well, that's what I figured it'd be worth. I said, they're telling everybody it's worth $1.8 million and it's only worth $200-something thousand for the whole thing. He said, well, the buildings are falling down, so you could only sell it for the land. I said, I know that. I said, but their big $1 million lie. I said, it's all incited by also his second wife's kids that took him for money. And I said, I'll tell you what, they need to find another senior citizen to call mommy or daddy, beat on, and steal all their money. They already took all Carl's. They already sorted all his money. They need to leave him alone. And they're never getting a dime either. He said, well, everybody's afraid you're going to take everything. I said, take what? I said, because I'll tell you what, you know who paid for this move? A lot of it? Me. I said, remember the dog bite I got? Yeah. I said, it paid for this move. And the things that we have in here. And I'll tell you, I said, if I have to go out and work 2 jobs, I'm going to be mad. I said, he only makes $1,900 a month. And I said, Carl told him about all the taxes they had took when they put the pipeline in, the road. And he said, well, Uncle Sam takes his share. And he does take more than half when it comes to stuff like that. I said, I know it does. And then I got proof of about 50, 60 grand in cash checks that I witnessed 6 grand myself of them pulling him out of cash. And where he said they took 50 out of cash, have I seen that in 2 months? I'm sure they did. And I said, I even found out they were demanding $1,000 each Christmas. And then more. They took over $10,000 2 different Christmases. They took every dime he had. And I said, I'm telling you, they're not getting another dime. Not another dime. Brenda, Steve, and Bratz are not getting another dime. And that's all there is to it. And neither is his son, Rick. I said, this entitlement, you only inherit stuff by people's grace and their goodness. Carl could leave everything to the Humane Society. It's nobody's choice but his. He can sell it. And I said, I'll tell you what, it probably will be sold. Because he threatened his life and he threatened mine. And he will never see a dime of it. Because he threatened him. Now, Michelle, on September 30th, 25, like that girl in Carrollton, we all heard Michelle say she wanted that land. And she was the one that told his family they could do it. She hadn't said anything till now. I know. I figured they were the big offer. Her and her family has to make money to pay back the drug bet. They owe drug dealers money. You have to pay, you bet everything you have in life. They never lose. You lose, you have to pay back everything you own, everything that it's worth, plus interest or double, for winner takes all. Told you there was a guy with a super nice truck. Followed me around for a while. Disappeared for months. Showed back up. In a dumpy truck. He said, I finally got enough money to even afford this. They took everything. I was stupid enough to make a bet with him. This is where they kept saying somebody was in debt to a drug dealers. It was Michelle's dad. Which is, I found out, Melissa, my ex-daughter-in-law, her divorce attorney against John, had his daughter date my husband, where they hired the Florida drug cartel to try to kidnap me, try to carjack me. They were the ones trying to kill me. Where they said that one guy in Maslin helps him get away with crimes. What's his problem involving himself in crime? He's an attorney for the drug cartel. Had needed to find a sap and sucker to run a scam on, where David hired him, had his 18-year-old daughter go out and flirt with him. Started dating him. Melissa's divorce. That's how she met her divorce attorney. When John filed for divorce, they already knew each other because their church hired them to kill me. And he's the one that is trying to get Agent John's case thrown out. He's the one in debt to drug dealers. His daughter already ratted him out that him and all of them, his whole family, has even human traffic people, sold people as sex slaves and to be murdered to pay back those drug dealers. The main drug cartel already announced and told everybody they're not paying another dime for anybody who harassed me, and told everybody to leave me alone. Because this whole thing is nothing but that family's drug debt to some drug dealers, and they lied to them. Now, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Lying to head of drug cartels? You're lucky they only had a biker take you down under where there's surveillance and get you to confess to your whole family's crime, so that we hand you over to the police on a platter. That this is only their drug debt to those drug dealers. See, they talked about somebody being in debt to the drug dealers, and this whole thing was it. It's Michelle's dad. Melissa's divorce attorney against John had his daughter date my husband to make sure he's hooked, to run a sap, get a sap to run a scam on, make another bet. They had to pay back those other ones, and he sold women and children. So did Michelle. Like they said, nobody better ever talk to Michelle ever again. She admitted to human trafficking, selling human beings. She admitted they had my skull crushed in, me raped and tortured because they were in debt to those drug dealers, and I don't even know who she is. And Dave hired some guy named Pete on his own to make sure that they both got everything during their divorce. Now they're going after the FBI case. And they want those drug cartel dealers that helped them try to run their scam released. Agent John, there's a technicality where they said the legal loophole, you didn't pay me. You didn't pay me and stand up for me. They're trying to get your case against the drug cartel thrown out. They've been announcing that one. I heard it 100 times over.